National Player of the Year odds have shifted massively in the last 24 hours, Dion. Have you seen this?
I'm not.
So Cooper Flagg's odds just tanked almost overnight. This happened yesterday afternoon. I saw a bunch about it on Twitter. And it all season long, Cooper Flagg was like a sizable favorite, especially when Johni Broome got hurt. Cooper Flagg became like a minus 500 favorite to win the National Player of the Year award. He's been, even as Johni Broome has returned, he's been minus 155, minus 140. He's always been a slight favorite in the last week to win National Player of the Year. Yesterday, this completely flipped. I'm reading from DraftKings right now, but Johni Broome minus 240 to win the Wooden Award. Cooper Flagg plus 180 to win the Wooden Award. This feels crazy to me. Johni Broome has been great, but sizable favorite over Cooper Flagg, the guy that was injured for a
Mm,
month. You
That
think that
that's
makes sense?
that's good value. I'm a value guy. Like if you wanted to get Coop, like even if you think Janai's gonna win it, like I mean, what if Auburn slips up against Kentucky this weekend? Like it's far more likely Auburn slips up than Duke does the rest of the way, and you're getting Coop nearly plus 200. Like that's really good value. That's also not drastic enough to where books are like, there's nothing Coop can do to like win this award back. Like that's a good value, but also a small enough margin. One bad Janai game, you're back in this if you're Coop.
Yeah, I'm just wondering, like, does somebody know something that we don't hear? Because look, if you asked me to handicap this right now, I'm not saying I'm like a handicapping expert by any means, but if I was in charge of the odds for National Player of the Year, Cooper Flagg would be minus 180 and Johni Broome would be plus 160, 150. I don't know how it works, but like Cooper Flagg should be the favorite to me, Dion. Just looking at this, I understand this is the second day in a row that I've been advocating for a bunch of great Cooper Flagg things, but these two guys played each other. Cooper Flagg won. Cooper Flagg had 22 and 11. Johni Broome had 20 and 12. Cooper Flagg had more assists, more blocks, more steals.
Mhm.
What are we missing? Cooper Flagg was the better player in a win when they played head to head months ago. Cooper Flagg's gotten way better since then. Duke has ran through this entire season. Cooper Flagg has not missed a game. Ken Pom says that Cooper Flagg's the best player in the country. Johni Broome missed a week of the season. And unless he's just getting like the, oh, how cool was it that he returned from injury bump, like, why are we giving the award to the guy who lost to the other guy head to head that missed games? It doesn't make any sense to me why Johni Broome would be favored right now.
Makes no sense. Duke's also the best team on Ken Pom. You're the best player on Ken Pom on the best team on Ken Pom. What are we missing here? So I mean, I don't know what we're missing. I do know I'm about to go play some future though. I would love to get I would love to get Coop at plus 180 with what, like 2 weeks left in the season.
Yeah.
Um like I would love to get those odds. Like I think it's really good value for the better player, by the way. Unless it's just one of those things where they know voters aren't going to give it to him because he's the number one pick.
Or because he's a freshman and that's just not what they do. But yeah, look, there's 3 games left in the regular season. Duke's going to play Florida State, Wake Forest, and North Carolina. They're going to win all 3 of those games. There's a chance they play these games without Tyrese Proctor, which is going to put Cooper Flagg in an even bigger on ball facilitation role. Like, there's really no threat to Duke flubbing this at the end of the season. To your point, Auburn goes at Kentucky, at Texas A&M, and at home against Alabama. Now, if they win all 3 of those games and Johni Broome's the MVP of all of them, sure, give the award to Johni Broome. But there's at least a chance that they slip up, and there's a very logical reason that Cooper Flagg's role is even going to increase down the stretch of this season.
Yeah.
So I just don't understand it. Again, I've been on record all season. I think there's multiple National Player of the Year awards. I think this is a year it should be a split. I think Johni Broome deserves one of them. I think Cooper Flagg deserves the other one. These two are neck and neck. It's the closest race we've seen in a very long time. But these odds don't indicate that it's a close race. These odds are valuing Johni Broome as if he's the outright favorite, which makes no sense to me. If one of these guys was going to be the favorite, to me, it very clearly should be the one with the head-to-head win that hasn't missed games. And I'm with you. I'm going to jump all over this while we can. I think the odds might flip back in Coop's favor very soon.
Yeah, the Tyrese Proctor point, get that, that's massive, right? Because that's your ball handler. You're gonna put the ball back in Coop's hands even more than it already is. You're gonna have some moments for some really, really big performances out of Coop down in these last three games. Unless they like, I don't know how they do it because the Heisman voters say that they vote like way before we think they vote sometimes. Um, Maybe they know some votes already came in for Janai, like early ballots.
Yeah, maybe. Dude, I really don't understand this. I feel like I normally have a pretty good pulse on the odds, and when this came through yesterday, I was like, "What this? Like, is Coop gonna get shut down for a couple games and we don't know it?"
You know what it might be? So this happens in pro sports all the time, voter fatigue. Maybe Coop's getting defensive player of the year or something like that, and they just don't want to give him multiple awards.
That could happen. Or I literally would buy it if you told me that, like, hey, Shire's gonna shut Cooper down, give him 2 weeks off. You know?
I think, but like my thing is like if they do that, like that shows just how good he's been all year. Where it's like, yeah, no, like he is the national player of the year. We don't and like we can shut him down, and our statement's already been made.
In your mind, if you were assigning percentages to who deserves National Player of the Year, what do you have it as in your mind?
So for me, it's 100% Coop, zero Janai. Um,
Seriously.
And the reason I say that is I've said on a few videos, I placed a future on Auburn when Janai got hurt because I saw how they looked without Janai. If you remove Coop from Duke, I would like my money back on the Duke future that I also
Yeah,
have.
it makes sense. All right. Well, you're a man who always knows where his money is. In my mind, I have it as like 55% Coop, 45% Janai. And to me, they've nearly been identically as impressive. It's just Cooper's something I've never seen before. I feel like I've seen other Johni Broome post players, and Cooper beat him head to head, and Cooper didn't miss time. If one of these two deserves a nod, it should be Cooper Flagg. So yeah, I'm gonna jump on this plus money while we can with Cooper Flagg and hope it pays off in a couple weeks.